For the Rural Radio Network, I'm Joe Gangwish in Kearney for the Nebraska Cattlemen's Convention, and giving us an update this week, Kevin Kester. He is the NCBA Vice President. You are from California, Kevin, cattle producer out that direction. So let's talk about a little bit of the things now as we turn our eyes to Washington. And let's start on the tax side. You had an interesting perspective on, of course, estate tax, but there's some other things to consider too.
There are a lot of things to consider. Not only our number one goal is repeal of the death tax, but also there's some other things that we have to be vigilant on. Right now, at the end of this Congress, there's some proposed rules of disallowing valuation discounting, which is hugely important estate planning factor for family-run partnerships and corporations, and the current administration is proposing to eliminate that. We're pushing back, and I testified in Washington last week about that, and hopefully we seem to have a commitment that maybe we'll get a rewrite or possible withdrawal of that particular estate tax planning tool to keep it in our toolbox. We've also got some other things that we always have to be vigilant on that the administration was trying to take away from us this year is cash accounting. Section 179, which is the expense deduction for capitalized asset purchases, and so things like that. And then there's a section for estate planning called 2032A, which it's on your estate tax return, where if you gift assets to family members and they hold on to them for 10 years, then it doesn't count against your estate tax debt or burden under that general exemption. So there's all sorts of things under this tax reform package under the first 100 days of Congress that we think that the Republican leadership and the new Trump administration is going to be working on. So we're pretty excited about it. There's a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah. You mentioned the Trump administration, of course, and we heard from USMEF yesterday a little bit about trade, but I'm sure you're going to be in talking to our new Ag Secretary about the importance of beef trade.
Well, we are. So as soon as those appointments are made, we'll be in starting to form those new relationships. And just as important is whoever's appointed as the trade ambassador with the U.S. Trade Representative's Office and the negotiators for those positions. So we'll be in those offices just as much or more than the USDA as regards to trade. So even though it appears that we've got to work through some things with the new administration on trade, I think fundamentally pro-trade is going to be the stance from this administration. We just got to form those relationships and get to the details, roll up our sleeves and get to work.
Well, we've got to be happier with our new EPA administrator coming from Oklahoma. Should be friendlier to agriculture. So tell us now how you're going to tackle WOTUS.
Well, there's a couple of things. Even with the new administration, we were very optimistic and excited about the opportunity that on the stump, President-elect Trump said he was going to roll back and take off the table the WOTUS, proposed WOTUS rules. Now that we have a new EPA administrator nominated, who's going to be a great friend of ours, I'm sure, that just gives us more opportunity to get these rules buried. Most importantly, we've got to set it up to where they can't be reintroduced into the future. And so we're optimistic that we can get something done and looking forward to it.
Kevin Kester, he's NCBA Vice President, was joining us here this week at the Nebraska Cattlemen's Annual Convention in Kearney. Here on the Rural Radio Network, I'm Joe Gangwish.